Park in San Francisco, the New York Mets play the San Francisco Giants. Tuesday Night Baseball is presented by Verizon. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Verizon. Don't miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. By Tri Honda. Hurry to your local Tri Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. By the NYCB family of banks. Is that good? By Geico, the #1 insurer in the New York market. And by Wise Snacks. Go to windup-and-win.com now for your chance to win Wise Snacks, Mets experiences, and other amazing prizes. This scene set is brought to you by the San Francisco Tourist Board. From the Golden Gate to Alcatraz. The Mets have escaped from prison on this West Coast trip. In fact, they've gone 3-1 in California with back-to-back shutout victories. And they try and keep the good times going tonight. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to San Francisco. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling with you tonight as the Mets play the middle game of their series against the Giants. It's a homecoming night for both these teams, both teams getting a player back. In the Mets' case, it's Henry Mejia, their former closer, who finished off his 80-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. He became eligible today, and he has been activated, and he is in the Mets bullpen tonight. Well, you've heard almost every cliche before the game from Henry. He said, hey, listen, it's in the past. I don't want to address it anymore. From players on the team that said, hey, everyone deserves a second chance. But, you know, ironically, think about it this way. With that suspension, it allowed Familia to go in that bullpen and pitch the ninth inning and be the closer. I don't know if he could have been as effective with his buddy looking from the bullpen while he did that. So Mejia was off with the suspension. Familia got a chance to be, I think, an all-star player, a near all-star so far. To make room for Mejia, the Mets have sent Logan Verrett back down to AAA. We'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. For the Giants tonight, they get Hunter Pence back from the disabled list for the second time this year. He's really the Giants' heart and soul. You know, very rarely do you have a player come over to a ball club late and be an inspirational leader. In 2012, he came over. Once they got to the postseason, he had those Newt Rockney kind of inspirational speeches, rah-rah speeches before the game in the postseason, and then went on to win the World Series. He has been a great player from day one here, and this city fits him perfectly. And the Giants need him in the worst way. They've lost 7 games in a row. Tonight they go up against Bartolo Colon, who pitched one of his best games as a Met his last time out against the Cubs. It really was. When you think about Bartolo so far in his contract, he's won 25 games, lost 19 for the Mets, and his last start was as good as it gets, just didn't get a win. For the Giants, their former right-handed stalwart Matt Cain makes the start, just his second start since coming back from the disabled list. Well, this will really be the big player for the Giants as they move forward in their schedule. He's a guy that's an all-star kind of player. When he's at his best, he's considered for Cy Youngs. He's going to have to return to that kind of form. So it's Colon for the Mets and Cain for the Giants as the Mets try and keep the good times rolling in California. Mets and Giants, all the action coming your way tonight right here on SNY. Don't miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. Vote for Jeurys Familia as the final National League All-Star. Go to Mets.com/vote between now and Friday and cast your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game final vote. In celebration of Familia, the Mets are also offering 3 tickets for $27 to this weekend's games against Arizona. Go to Mets.com/vote to take advantage of this special offer. It's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag SNY DataStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. During batting practice tonight, Steve Gelb's caught up with last night's winning pitcher, John Neese.
John, you've been pitching so well now for the better part of 2 months, but haven't gotten the wins. Last night you finally get that win. How nice was that to finally break through in that regard?
It was great. You know, we had a game plan early in the game, and you know, pound the bottom of the zone. We figured they were going to be aggressive, and they were. So you know, it was great to put up them zeros, and obviously have that rally there in the 9th inning, and Familia getting the save is a great ending to a great game.
What's the one thing you've been most pleased with during this recent run of success for you?
I think my command, being able to pound the bottom of the zone, being able to locate my pitches where I want to, and my fastball mainly, and that kind of helps my off speed.
Been inducing a lot of ground balls too. Did that a lot again last night. What has been the key to getting those ground balls?
I think the sinker and the cutter combination, working in and out at the bottom of the zone, I think that helps out a lot. Kind of keeps the hitters guessing. That
sinker, that two-seamer, I know you were struggling getting the feel for that pitch at the beginning of the season. Has that been, in your mind, one of the biggest changes between then and now?
Yeah, big time. I think the bullpen sessions in between the starts, working on my mechanics, staying tall, staying on line, being able to locate that pitch instead of just throwing it up there, leaving it in the middle of the zone, staying flat. I think being able to locate that has helped me a lot.
John, your health is always a point of discussion. You've talked about how good you feel this year. Just how different is it than seasons past?
My arm feels great, night and day from last year. Being able, it's a lot stronger. You know, and it's recovering a lot better. And you know, I think that's helped me out a lot. You know, being able to locate my pitches too, just being healthy, and I'm going to hopefully continue that through the rest of the year.
As a veteran on this team, how would you evaluate where the team's at going into the break?
I think we're okay. I think we battle a lot. I think we have a lot of competitors. Great starting rotation, great bullpen. You know, great lineup. You know, kind of off and on at times, but you know, like I said, they battle, they grind it out, and you know, hopefully we continue that.
Appreciate the time, John.
All right, thanks.
Been going in the right direction for John as he works his way toward the All-Star break, pitching his best baseball of the year. Tonight it's Bartolo Colon. Mets and Giants, first pitch coming up from San Francisco. tri-state area Infinity retailer for a test drive today. By Citi, proud partner of the New York Mets. And by State Farm. Today's State Farm agent of the game is John Garfinkel of Brooklyn. Contact John at johngarfinkel.com. Get to Citi Field this Friday when the Mets take on the Diamondbacks at 7:10. All fans in attendance will receive a Mets emoji t-shirt and a gift card courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays. Cadillac drive around the majors. Paulo Orlando, grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and the Royals beat the Rays first game of a doubleheader 9-5. Johnny Cueto outdueled Max Scherzer. Complete game, 2-hit shutout for Cueto. 11 strikeouts as the Reds beat the Nats 5-0. And the Angels hit 4 home runs in the first 3 innings at Coors Field. They're up 10-1 in the 6th. Albert Pujols with his 26th home run of the season. Matt Cain, just his second start and his first home start since last July. He had elbow surgery. He had a flexor tendon strain this spring, and so he is just getting his season off the ground. And he'll face the Mets, who suddenly have won 3 of their last 4 on this trip. Here's your Geico Mets starting lineup. Kirk Neuenhuis, who had a double and a couple of walks in his return to the Mets, gets a start in center field tonight. John Mayberry in left. Michael Kadyer back on the bench. Lucas Duda dropped to 5th in the batting order as the Mets try to keep the good times rolling against Cain.
Well, disregard these Toyota numbers. Only 1 start for Matt Cain, but in his career, I was surprised to see 95 and 96 for his career. Remember in 2012 when he threw his perfect game, 16-5 that year. Since then, only 10 and 18. And defensively behind Matt Cain, the regulars are back in there, including Mr. Pence in right field. Finally gets some action. 162 games, 2 years in a row. Duffy, Crawford, Panic, and Belt. Crawford and Panic, they're all stars. But Buster Posey gets a seat tonight. Andrew Suzak doing the catching.
Giants have lost 7 straight games. Second time this year they've lost that many in a row. They had an 8-game losing streak earlier this season.
And a 5. So a very streaky ball club.
You mentioned Cain and his losing record. Even when he was in his heyday with the Giants, it seemed more often than not he was that guy that the Giants didn't score for.
They got runs for Lincecum, did not always get runs for Cain.
Curtis Granderson will lead things off. Granderson 0 for 4 last night. Granderson, Tejada, and Murphy to get the Mets started. Mets didn't score until the 9th inning last night. Twice already on this road trip. They've been tied going into the 9th and won. They did it in L.A. on Friday and again last night. Cain's first pitch of the night is popped up into shallow left field. And Blanco settles under it. 1 pitch for Cain and the first out of the night. So Granderson aggressive on the first pitch he sees from Matt Cain. 1 out and nobody on. Now Ruben Tejada. Ruben's had a good trip. 6 for 16 on the trip. 1 for 4 last night. He's got good career numbers against Cain. 5 for 13, including a home run.
You know, we've seen him have good numbers against Kershaw in Los Angeles, good numbers against Cain. Dragon Slayer, Mr. Tejada.
Is there a tendency for some of the best starting pitchers to sometimes let down against the little guys?
It's not that you let down, it's that you don't take them seriously, Gary. I mean, that's what happens. When you're an elite pitcher, a guy comes up who can't hit you out of the yard, you know what you do? You go right after him. And I think Tejada's taking advantage of that.
So it's the no messing around strategy. Daniel Murphy waits on deck, and Tejada takes off the plate. You see 86 from Cain. That Cain in his first start against the Marlins last Thursday averaged under 90 miles an hour with his fastball. Far cry from the early part of his career.
And the result is you've seen a couple of sliders here now to Tejada. He's trying that metamorphosis that most pitchers will do later in their career from 95 plus to going to the corners.
Cain now 30 years old. Until 2013 he had never been on the disabled list. And he gets Tejada with a fastball, 92 miles an hour. First strikeout for Cain, 2 out.
Up in the strike zone is the key. Cain has always thrown the ball from bottom to top. What do I mean by that? Upstairs he always has life.
So we said never on the disabled list till 2013. 4 times now in the last 2.5 years he has been on the DL.
He pitched 1 game against the Mets at Citi Field. You and I looked at each other and said, you know, he's hurt.
Here's Daniel Murphy. And he tops one up the first baseline. Belt in to get it. And beats Murph to the bag, and it's an easy first inning for Kane. He retires the side on 6 pitches. Bartolo Colon takes the mound when we come back. Hunter Pence conspicuous by his presence. Pence has only had 71 at bats this year. Joe Panik and Brandon Crawford, the Giants all-star double play combination, both had the night off last night, both in there tonight against Bartolo Colon.
Well, Colon, cheap numbers, 9 wins, but it's been a struggle of late, except for his last start, which is probably his best all year. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs.
Gregor Blanco leads off for the Giants. Blanco filling in left field for the injured Nuri Aoki, who's out with a fractured leg. Blanco 0 for 4 last night, hitting at .304 for the year. Blanco, Panik, and Duffy for the Giants in the home first. And Colon falls behind his first hitter 2-0. When's the last time that happened? Colon has walked 11 batters in 99 innings this season. And what, 4 of those are intentional walks?
Yeah.
There's a strike 2-1.
7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Well, the Mets are working on a stretch of 19 consecutive scoreless innings by their pitchers. Shutouts the last 2 days, 1 in L.A., 1 here. Grounded weakly to the right side. Duda went for it, so Colon's going to have to cover, and he did not get there in time. Missed the bag, and Blanco's safe.
That's it, Gary. He missed the bag. He overstepped the bag. The problem here is in the beginning. Now we'll watch him miss the bag as he steps across it. The problem is that there's no business Lucas Duda going after this baseball. He's got to realize the ball to his right is too far. Just retreat and go to first base. And the 42-year-old cannot get there in time. We got there in time, but missed the base.
An infield hit for Blanco.
I mean, 100 things went wrong. Still ended up with a hit here.
Well,
I mean, it has to be, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's Flores' ball all the way. But it's an infield hit for Blanco, and now Joe Panik, who got the day off yesterday. Panik is 8th in the National League in batting, hitting at .304. St. John's product going to the All-Star game in his first full season in the big leagues. Been quite a rise for a guy that a lot of people question whether he could be a starting player in the major leagues, and he has been tremendous.
Hopefully they're not working around baseball anymore, those folks.
A lot of people on a lot of broadcasts last year talk about Panik and him not being a guy that you could play every day. Well, he's going to be playing in Cincinnati next week.
Well, you know why? Because if you put him in the computers that people have, you know, he's you see the hits leaders, you know, he doesn't look like the guy who's going to run fast and get the job done. But you know what? He makes the defensive plays. He's a clutch hitter, knows how to do all the little things. He's a baseball player.
Born in Yonkers, grew up in Hopewell Junction up in Dutchess County. Went to John Jay High School in East Fishkill before moving on to St. John's. First round pick by the Giants in 2011. Popped up. Murphy retreating. Tejada has the better angle, so he takes charge and catches it in foul territory, or actually in fair territory, for the first out. So Paddock retired, 1 out and 1 on. And now Matt Duffy. Duffy has cooled down a tad, just 4 for his last 25. It's really true of this whole Giants team. You look up and down their lineup, and they've got a lot of guys who got off to good starts who have slowed a bit. It's part of the residue of a 7-game losing streak.
And their pitching hasn't been the same like it's had been in the last 5 years.
Well, you've always thought of the Giants during this run of success as pitching first. That started to turn a little bit last year.
Pitching first, real good defense, score enough to win. And this year they've had a great offense early.
And in those even numbered years, those championship years, usually bring in a spare part who becomes a star. Whether that's a Cody Ross or a Marco Scudero.
Pat Burrell had a nice run when they brought him over here.
Or even Paddock last year to bring him up from the minors and have him play a key role.
Mike Morse, who goes on and on.
Duffy at 288 for the year. He's taken over the third base job after they brought in Casey McGee. McGee's now been designated for assignment twice by the Giants. Went to the minor leagues the first time. I think he's still in limbo now, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Be interesting to see if he winds up with a different team this time or if he goes back to the minor leagues.
Did you bring up Marco Scudero?
Did.
Yeah.
Scudero, they're paying this year, but he's not going to play. But he was such a big part of their championship run 3 years ago. With the runner going, it's grounded out to Tejada. His only play is to first. So the Giants stay out of the double play by moving Blanco. And Duffy grounds out for the second out.
Defense behind Cologne, presented by Lexus. Mayberry Jr. gets a start. Kadyer on the bench. Neuenhuis gets a start. Lagares on the bench. Murphy, Tejada, Flores, Duda. That's your infield almost every day. And Plawecki behind the plate after Johnny Manel with 2 solid games.
Standing ovation for the returning hero, Hunter Pence. Back from his second stint on the disabled list this year. Did not go out on a rehab assignment, and Bruce Bochy addressed that before the game. He said if we were 1-7 in a row, maybe we would have gone a little slower with him, but they really need Pence, and so he's right back in the lineup tonight. And he takes a fastball for a strike from Cologne. Well, the Hunter Pence teasing signs began at Citi Field last year and have become legendary now. Pence originally suffered a broken forearm when he was hit by a pitch in spring. Came back, played, 18 games, and then suffered wrist tendonitis. And that wrist can't feel good after getting jammed by Cologne. 1-1.
Threw it right at his wrist. Chokes up on the bat. Very unorthodox. Gamer. Any team in baseball would want him on their team.
3-time All-Star, played every game for the Giants each of the last 2 years after coming over in 2012. And he lunges for the slider by Cologne 1-2.
There's something to be said about not going out, playing some minor league games, kind of old school, getting ready. Does not look good on that slider, though, from Cologne.
But you know, he can look so bad one pitch and then hit the next one across the bay. Blanco at second with 2 down. And Pence waves at the fastball away. 92 from Cologne for his first strikeout, and that gets him through the first inning. No score after 1. Second inning, Wilmer Flores leads off against Matt Cain. It's been quite the road trip for Flores, who now in those last 5 games is 12 for 20. That's a 600 clip. 1 for 4 last night, up to 258 for the year. And he fouls off the fastball from Cain, 1-1. Flores, Duda, and Mayberry for the Mets. Who pulled off a very quirky feat the last couple of days. Stay with me on this because it's a little complicated. The Mets shut out the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium on Sunday. They shut out the Giants here last night. No team had ever shut out the Dodgers and Giants in back-to-back games on the road since 1925, when it was Ebbets Field and the Polo Grounds, not Dodger Stadium and AT&T Park.
I don't get that. I mean, it's too much history for that not to have happened. But
because teams would typically come into New York, play them back-to-back, and they've typically come to California and played them back-to-back, so it's not like that's a rare event. So we're talking about 90 years that it never happened. Flores down on strikes, and Cain throwing a lot harder tonight than he did in his first start. His second strikeout. Get to Citi Field this Saturday when the Mets take on the Diamondbacks at 4:10. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Juan Lagares bobblehead, courtesy of Geico. For tickets, visit Mets.com/tickets. Here's Lucas Duda, who did not start last night, came off the bench and struck out as a pinch hitter in the ninth. It's been a rough go for Lucas, just 9 for his last 66. He's seen his season average drop to 247 and just 1 home run since the 1st of June. Giants employ the full shift against Lucas.
Well, Terry Collins was asked today, when Lucas breaks out, will it be a slow, steady process, or will it be like 3 home runs over 2 days? He said the latter. You won't see it coming, and then he'll just get red hot. Mets can only hope.
Cain gets that in on his hands, and he pulls a foul. 1-2. I asked Terry whether he considered giving Lucas a second day off in a row. He said he definitely considered it, but ultimately he needs to have Duda in the lineup. 1 mental health day was probably enough. Tonight it's the Mets' other struggling middle of the order hitter, Michael Kadyer, who's sitting out, partly because his knee's still a little wonky, but also just it's been rough for Michael, even though he had a huge hit for the Mets in the 9th inning last night.
I look at it this way, Gary. There was a time when you're 5 games from the All-Star break when you'd say, hey, boys, let's go. Let's put the hammer down for 5 days, and I don't care how hurt you are, what kind of slump you're in, figure it out, because if we go 4-1, go 5-0, go win those games, we go into the break with a good feeling. We're in a good spot after the first half.
And then you get 4 days off, and everybody will be rested.
But now they want to rest guys. Don't get it, and they can't explain it to me because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, to me, with Kadyer, I think that they don't want to talk about it all that outwardly, but his knee clearly is a concern right now.
Of course, and that way they can give him almost a week's rest. He probably didn't think he was going to have to play every single day at 36.
3-2 to Duda with 1 out, and Lucas pops it up. Coming back is Suzak for a look, but that's out of play.
Pretty close here between the plate and the stands.
This is a remarkable stadium, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I mean, the setting is obviously incredible. The natural beauty of the bay out beyond the ballpark. But they built this ballpark on such a small piece of land. It's only 13 acres. And just perfect. On the inside corner, Duda caught looking. So back-to-back strikeouts for Cain, and there are 2 out.
Well, fastball inside, paints it. It's supposed to be away, but he holds on to it a little too long, and that pitch that never is called a strike when the catcher reaches across his body. We see it more and more, Gary.
Never used to be.
It's almost like the umpire is sitting inside, and if it splits his body, he calls it a strike.
Whereas if it goes the other way around, you set up inside, and it's a way less likely.
Never get the call.
Right. Here's John Mayberry getting the start in left field tonight. He got a start on Friday in L.A. against Kershaw, had a double and a walk. There's your umpiring crew tonight. Doug Eddings, who's always been known as a pitcher's umpire behind the plate. Fletcher Baker and the crew chief Bill Miller. Cain quickly ahead on Mayberry, 0-2.
Gary, have you noticed Matt Cain in the first time through the lineup? A lot of breaking pitches, change-ups, first pitch to the Mets hitters. He knows they're going to be aggressive against his fastball. He's countered that with his secondary pitches.
Right back to Cain. Makes the stumbling grab and gets the out to retire the side. Wasn't elegant, but it was effective. Still no score. Leads off against Bartolo Colon. Crawford named yesterday to the All-Star game, having his best offensive year by far. Always been a terrific defensive shortstop. Career high 12 home runs already for Crawford before the break.
You always thought that he was going to be a star. Defensively, he's always been one of the best in the league. You're just waiting for the bat to catch up. Well, it has.
And what makes it even better for the Giants, he's a hometown kid. His dad was a Giants season ticket holder, and so Crawford came to games when he was very young.
Grew up in Pleasanton, which is in the East Bay, 25 miles from here.
Flies one out to right field. A lot of room out there. Granderson back to the warning track right near that triples alley, and he runs it down 418 feet from home plate. You can't hit it to a worse spot if you're Brandon Crawford, right at the deepest point of the ballpark. Well, this was last year in the wild card game. There are a lot of little steps these days to become a World Series champion. There are 4 rounds of playoffs now, and everybody talked about Madison Bumgarner winning that wild card game over the Pirates, but it was Crawford who gave him the lead.
Almost unbelievably, Granderson kept looking for the fence, like when is this fence coming up at some point? The deepest part of any park in right center in all of baseball by far.
Brandon Belt hitting 6th in the order. Well, that's a home run in every other ballpark in the major leagues. That's hit toward the hole, and Belt's got a base hit. So Belt, who's been struggling, takes one the other way for his first hit in the series.
A couple of hard hit balls here against Colon.
One out and one on. Now Angel Pagan. Pagan, who's been battling a wonky knee of his own. It's 2 wonkies in the first 2 innings, by the way. 0 for 4 last night. Over the last 22 games, hitting just And he pops one up behind third. Murphy not quite getting to it. But isn't that really the point that you were making before when we were talking about Kadyer? Just about everybody's banged up in some fashion by the time you get to this point of the season. And it's, you know, with the 4 days off looming next week, this is the time for everybody to kind of kick it in gear.
Kick it in gear. You know, with the 6-man rotation, if you've been playing before, you would have seen how many starts you can get to Grom before the All-Star break as opposed to staying on the 6th. But that's how it is.
Ball and a strike to Pagan. Well, DeGrom will go tomorrow afternoon. That'll be his final start before the All-Star break. And then we'll see how the Mets reconfigure their rotation coming out of the break. Might depend in part on whether DeGrom pitches in the game next Tuesday. The change up from Colon is 2-1.
Well, I didn't even realize this until I was thinking about it today. Neese last night, Colon tonight. That's it. Not making another start.
Right.
Done for the first half.
And, you know, the Mets could configure it so that they get extended rest. I don't know how they're going to come out of the break. Tap toward Colon. He bobbles it and cannot recover in time. So Colon, who missed the bag at first on Blanco's hit in the first inning, this time unable to cleanly field a slow grounder by Pagan, and he reaches safely.
Well, I'm going to blame this one on Colon. He really tried to style it here and didn't get in a good defensive position to make that play. That's a play that he's got to make 100 times out of 100, and he usually does.
And it will be an error on Colon. That puts 2 men on with 1 out.
Third pitcher error in 2 nights.
That's right. Heston made it there for the Giants last night. So now Belt at second, Pagan at first with 1 out. And the catcher Andrew Suzak with Buster Posey getting the night off. A lot of times when Posey doesn't catch, he plays first base. Not the case tonight. Suzak getting his 26th start. He's hitting .250, but just 1 for his last 16. And Colon misses away. Suzak's second-round pick in 2011 out of Oregon State. So that year in 2011, they got Panic in the first round and Suzak in the second round. And both in the lineup for the Giants tonight.
Helping them already.
Well, that's the idea when you draft college players. You expect a more immediate payoff than the more long-term plan of drafting high school players.
I was drafted when I was 21 in the big leagues by 23. That's what they expect for a college kid.
And Suzak takes a strike, 2-1.
I had to take it because I couldn't take any more of those long bus trips. I had to make it. Dying down there.
You know, it's amazing to me the guys who play their full careers in the minors, and then sometimes they coach and manage in the minors. And they're on bus trips for 40 years. Toward the gap in left center, Mayberry cutting over, runs it down. Nicely done by John Mayberry as that ball just hung up long enough for him for the second out.
Well, that throw almost got away back into the infield, but recovered by Tejada. Didn't look like he was going to get there for a while, but like you said, Gary, this ballpark's not only big, but with this thick marine layer, that ball held up. And the long-legged Mayberry got there. But then he turns and throws really nowhere. If Belt had been more alert and he went back to the bag, if he had looked up, he could have maybe taken advantage. Pagan has to play it that way. See if it's going to hit a gap. It doesn't. He goes back.
So now Matt Cain, a lifetime 125 hitter, will bat with 2 out and 2 on.
Got some pop, though.
Yep, 6 home runs in his career. Last one came in 2012. And Colon overpowers him upstairs, 0-1. Now, there was a time when Matt Cain was at the very top when you talked about the best right-handed pitchers in the National League.
Well, if he had one pick, he was one of those guys. If you had one pick, what pitcher would you take? He was on that list. 6 days rest. You get 8 shutout innings from the veteran Neese. 6 days rest. You get Colon throwing 91-92.
Well, we said it last night. You know, the six-man rotation was designed to benefit the young players with their innings limits. It may benefit Neese and Colon more than anybody. 0-2 coming to Kane. And he comes up and in. 1-2.
Kane would have swung at this if there wasn't a threat of him getting hit by the baseball.
Sometimes you can do both. Swing and get hit. That makes the pain even worse. Strike out and get hit at the same time. And a half swing foul. Almost got lucky that time and hit it down the line.
Well, Lucas is on the line, which I think is a good thing. So I don't know if that ball would have got by him if it was fair, but still, those kind of swings really confuse the defense because it comes out of nowhere. It's not a hitter swing, it's a pitcher being late swing. Hard to get a read.
Two. So McClung forced to do a little extra work here because of his own error. And now trying to put the pitcher away with 2 out and 2 on. A 2-2 count to Kane. Gregor Blanco would be next. Kane takes a big cut, fouls it off. Pitchers have now thrown 20 consecutive scoreless innings. Colon threw 7 scoreless in his last start, his first scoreless outing of the season. And a lot of zeros put up by the staff this year.
And they've needed every single one.
That's right now we're 3rd in the National League in staff ERA. Again the 2-2. And that just missed. Down the full count to Kane. Matt Kane giving a good accounting of himself. And now the runners will be in motion. Belt at second, Pagan at first, Blanco waiting on deck. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat from Colon to Kane. And he struck him out. Second strikeout for Bartolo Colon. And he works around his own error and strands a pair in the second. No score as we go to the 3rd. with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Well, we saw Curtis Granderson make a nice running grab there in right field in the bottom half of the second inning. And, that's a tough right field to play based on the dimensions. It's made even tougher, though, when you consider the fact that before the game, Curtis Granderson can't really practice taking fly balls in those dimensions because they have fans on the field here at AT&T Park watching batting practice. Talking with Curtis about that, how his routine is altered. He said it definitely was altered a little bit. Yesterday, he had Tom Goodwin hit one fly ball off the brick part of the wall to see how it responded. He also himself went over to the chain link part of the wall, threw a ball against the fence to just get a feel for things. Said the one thing he took out of it is when Goodwin hit the ball, he hit it right above the State Farm sign out in right field. It ricocheted all the way close to where the infielder would play on the outfield grass during a defensive shift. He told the second baseman and the center fielder, when a ball is hit out there, be prepared, because if it hits off against the bricks, I don't know where it's going to go.
Hey, Steve, do we have any idea whether that's simply gamesmanship on the part of the Giants to prevent visiting teams from learning this ball, which is clearly one of the hardest to play in baseball?
Gary, I spoke with Terry Collins about that, actually, asked him what he thought. He said he doesn't think it's gamesmanship at all, and that the players have the opportunity, if needed, to go out onto the field prior to batting practice and get what they need out of that right field. So Terry Collins at least not bothered by that at all.
I think really what it is, and it ends up working in their favor, the Giants. They've got one of the most popular teams in all of baseball. Everyone wants to be a part of it. Everyone wants to be on the field. And the Giants are trying to give a better experience for their fans each and every night.
NYN strikes out. And Kane looking awfully good early in this game. Has 4 strikeouts through the first 7 batters.
And if it hurts the other team, so be it. This is the pitch that really beleaguered NYN in his first stretch with the Mets, that fastball up.
But I think you would agree, Ronnie, that right field fence is the hardest to play in all of baseball because of all the different surfaces and angles that are contained in those arches and above the arches and the padding at the bottom.
And I think Steve said it well, is that if you have a high fly ball out to that brick area as a second baseman, you've got to sprint out there because it could carry him all the way back to you.
Kevin Plawecki batting. Sat the last 2 games. Johnny Manel had the big hit in the 9th inning for the Mets last night. Plawecki last started Saturday, had a couple of hits in the game in Los Angeles. I thought it was interesting, though, watching Granderson go back on that fly ball that Brandon Crawford hit. As Plawecki drives one out to left center field, hit well. Pagan going back to the warning track, looking up, and it's off the wall. Plawecki to second. He'll pull in there with a 1-out double. Plawecki coming close to a home run. Skims one off the fence for his 7th double of the year and the Mets' first hit of the night.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, Gary, but Plawecki, with given a couple of days, a day here and there, it's almost like he's found some new life with the stick. He went through a dreadful period hitting, but as of late, not playing all the time, every day, that bat coming around.
Well, he had the period of time when he was sick, and he had some problems with some double vision. But he's now started more than half the games for the Mets this year, and trying to convince everybody that he belongs.
Gary, you don't bunt here when the guy on second and 1 out.
No, I believe that's correct, Ronnie. Never have in the history of baseball. That's a strike to Colon, who's 4 for 30 at the plate this year. Colon has driven in 3 runs. He's got Plawecki at second and 1 out. Bart takes one the other way. Pence, though, is right there to grab it. No chance for Plawecki to move up. So Colon hitting it hard the other way, but Pence had him played well, and that's the 2nd out.
Well, what can you do? A bullet to right field by Colon, who has swung the bat so much better this year. But that's where you got to play the pitcher. Shallow and towards the line.
We've gotten to the point now where every pitcher's at bat for the Mets is an event.
Fun,
right?
It's nice that you have some athletes that are making it tough for the opposing pitcher.
There's Granderson, who flied to left his first time up. Keep the DH away.
Well, you know what's funny, Gary, and I'd like this a little deeper kind of thought about it. But, there was a day that a Syndergaard or a DeGrom, they would aspire to be an everyday player, not a pitcher. But why do they want to be a pitcher now? It's very, very easy. I don't know what they're talking about there.
Talking about guys wanted to be position players in another generation.
No. Yeah, what I was saying is that if you can throw 95 miles an hour now, 18 and above, you are going to get big money. You're going to get a contract. So unlike the difficult part of proving that you can hit in the major leagues, if you can just physically throw 95, you're going to make $4 or $5 million coming out of college or high school.
Well, I think also, and we've talked about this before, when offense was ascendant in the game in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a shift at the lower levels, and I think a lot of kids who otherwise would have been position players were funneled into pitching because there was a need for pitching. I think right now that's going back the other way. Now, if you're the big athlete and you can hit at all, that's what you're being groomed for because there's such a lack of offense. That's ball 4, and Granderson's on with a walk. Some close pitches there that Kane wanted from Doug Eddings and didn't get his first walk of the night. And there are 2 men on for Tejada. But also, you know, in the case of the Mets starting pitchers, you got DeGrom, who never intended to be a pitcher, and Matz, who never intended to be a pitcher, but their skills were so good from the mound. That's the way it went.
Listen, everyone wants to be a shortstop. Lack of talent takes you someplace else. That's how it goes.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
I'm talking about personal experience and everyone's experience.
See, now, you have to tell me honestly, could you have made it to the big leagues as a shortstop?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I was really good, but absolutely not. No chance. That tells you how good these guys are. You know, to be able to go out there every day. I mean, look, you got a big league shortstop across the bay. Marcus Simeon's got 27 errors. You know how difficult it is to play that position?
Well,
and he's a great athlete.
Awfully difficult if you're the manager and you're keeping the guy in to commit 27 errors in half the season and get you released from A-ball. Tejada struck out his first time up, and Kane comes right after him, 0-2.
Although there is a story, right? Jeter made 50 or 60 errors in his.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of guys who make big number errors in the minor leagues who tighten things up. I remember Ray Ordonez's first year with the Mets. He made, I think it was 26 or 27 errors.
And Ray is as good as it gets.
And then the next year, or maybe it was the year after, he made 3. So, in his case, he was trying to be a little too flashy that first year. Too high to Tejada, 1-2.
Well, we've seen Kane look pretty sharp, and then he's gotten into the stretch here, and he's not looked as good.
Gave up the line drive to Colon and then walked Granderson after Plawecki's double. 1-2 to Tejada. Ruben fouls back the fastball. Well, Matt Cain, as we said, was one of the elite. Last year, though, made only 15 starts, 2-7, 4.18 ERA. Had his season cut short. He had elbow surgery last August, came to spring training. Things were going well, but then developed flexor tendon strain and knocked him out of the first 3 months of the season. And now just getting his second start and his first home start since last July. Just away, 2-2.
Tejada in this road trip has looked so good at swinging the ball in the strike zone, not out of the strike zone, or better at least.
Daniel Murphy would be next. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Tejada. And he ignores the slider and runs the count full. So Tejada taking himself from behind in the count to a full count. Plawecki and Granderson get set to take off. And time asked for, and Suzak wants a conversation. So the intrepid Dennis D'Agostino just ran the numbers for us. Ordonez had 27 errors his rookie year in 1996, then 9 the next year, 17 in 98, but then in 1999, part of the quote-unquote best infield ever, 4.
Wow.
4. And of course that was his last great year. 2000 he got hurt and was never really the same after that. It's the year the Mets traded for Mike Bordick and Kurt Abbott playing shortstop in the World Series that year. 3-2 coming, and it's outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Murphy. So back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Kane. He got ahead of Tejada 0-2 and then lost him.
Well, we saw every single little emotion from Bruce Bochy in last night's ball game. He was about as angry as a bear after the game, wasn't he?
He was tired when he got here after their travel adventures. He was no happier later. So now it's Murphy batting with 3 aboard. Plawecki at third, Granderson at second, Tejada at first. Mets trying to break the ice here in the third. Murphy rolled out to first base his first time up. And takes the off-speed pitch for a strike.
Rolled over on that changeup first pitch. He gets another changeup first pitch here from Kane.
This is Murph's 8th game since coming back from the disabled list. He's 4 for 7 with the bases loaded this year. And that one pops up high and out of Suzak's mid, 1-1.
Interesting how Kane really pitches around the periphery of the strike zone now with his fastball. It's almost like I'm going to show it to you, but I really want to get you out with secondary pitches.
Given the fact that he struggled since he won in the stretch, are you surprised he's pitching out of the stretch with the bases loaded?
I am. I would have went back to the full windup. There's David Getty, the pitching coach. But some pitchers are not comfortable with a guy on third throwing from the windup. They're afraid of balking.
So it's less the steal of home and more the balk. Murphy slashes one foul, and it's 1-2. Wilmer Flores would be next. Mets have loaded the bases on a double by Plawecki and a couple of 2-out walks issued by Kane. Now he's ahead on Murphy, 1-2. Pops one foul, wasting that curveball. Kane threw just 22 pitches in the first 2 innings, 25 already in this inning.
Well, as a manager, you got to manage Kane different, don't you? Coming back this time around, don't want to see him have too many of these stressful long pitch innings.
And just 5 innings in his first start through 89 pitches against the Marlins. 1-2. A bit low. 2-2 to Murph.
Now, when you've had 2 consecutive 3-2 pitches and have walked the batters as a pitcher, your first thought in your mind is, I have to go after him here. Cannot get the 3-2 again.
Two to Murphy. And he foul tips it, held by Suzak for strike 3. Murphy wasn't sure whether maybe that ball hit the ground. No argument from the Mets, or maybe just a little bit of an argument. Terry's saying, didn't that ball hit the ground? That is not a reviewable play. So Murphy strikes out with the bases loaded, and Kane gets through the top of the third. Doug Eddings on that last play of the last inning.
Well, the change up to Murphy. He swings through it, but fouls it off. He thought the ball hit the ground. Doug Eddings said no, he was out, but he checks the ball anyway. Is any clay on it? No. You're done, Murph.
Slow ground ball. Colon lets it roll, and it rolls to a standstill, and Gregor Blanco has another infield hit. So Blanco got aboard the last time when Colon missed first base. This time Colon figures, it'll go foul. No, it won't. And Blanco is 2 for 2.
Well, the softest 2 hits ever gotten in a ball game here by Blanco.
It's the old expression, I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yes.
So the Giants have the leadoff man on in the third, and now Joe Panik, who popped to short his first time up. Blanco has 4 stolen bases this year. He's also been caught 4 times. Panik hitless in his last 15 at bats. Figure with this hitter struggling and this pitcher on the mound, perfect time for a hit and run. As you know, Colon's always going to be around the plate.
And that's why Colon is keeping Blanco close.
Starts him off with an off-speed pitch outside, ball 1.
Gary, whenever I'd be pitching and see this defensive alignment, Flores playing up the middle due to holding on, I would say to myself, I cannot throw a changeup, split finger for a strike. I can bounce it out of the strike zone, but you can't throw it for a strike because they're going to pull it, and you don't want them to pull it in that hole. Huge hole, by the way.
Do you think that's because of the defensive charts, or because Flores feels he needs to cheat a little closer to the bag than your average second base?
He just can't cover enough ground, so he's got to hug that bag at second base.
Blanco at first and nobody out. And Panik lines one over short. That's a base hit. Blanco to second, who will pull in there. And the Giants have the first 2 men on in the third. So Panik snaps that 0 for 15 with a base hit.
Well, 2 cheapish hits here. This one off the plate and off the end of the bat, but still same result. First and second, nobody out.
So now Matt Duffy with a couple of men on. Duffy grounded out to short his first time up. Now normally you'd have Buster Posey on deck, but you got Hunter Pence fresh off the disabled list on deck, who did not look good his first time up. So that might affect the way the Giants play this. And Duffy, thinking about a bunt, takes a strike.
Third
Sacrifice
place,
with the number 3 hitter.
Third place hitter. We saw with Mr. Beltran every once in a while. Back in the day.
He'd do that on his own.
Well, I would have to think Duffy was doing that on his own. No way Bochy's putting on a bunt.
Well, Duda is in on the edge of the grass, but Murphy's still a couple of steps back at third. And he takes a rip, and it's 0-2.
Fastball away, little slider away. Missed by a foot.
Colon's been a little more active with his slider and his changeup early in this game. This season, 86% fastballs. It's been less than that so far today. He's ahead on Duffy 0-2 with Pence on deck. Duffy trying to take one the other way, fouls it off. Your City probables for the final game of the series. It's going to be 2 Jakes for DeGrom's second straight start. He got Arrieta the last time and Peavy this time. Jake Peavy coming back from a back injury. This will be just his second start returning from the disabled list. DeGrom coming off a down start for him his last time out, when he gave up 4 runs in 5 1/3 against the Cubs. 0-2 to Duffy. Weak ground ball. Murphy's going to have to go to first with it, and he bobbles it looking at second and loses every play. He had no shot anywhere but at first, but in looking to second, he bobbled it, and now the Giants have the bases loaded.
Well, third base might be Murph's best position, but his instincts are not good here. You cannot ever think about throwing to second base. You're coming in so hard that just get the out at first. It's almost like a sacrifice the way it was hit to Murph. You know, that really is Murph's issue, is that he tries to make a big play out of a simple play.
It's like a hitter trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's trying to do too much. So the error on Murphy, the Mets' second error of the night, loads him up with nobody out. And Hunter Pence, the batter, struck out his first time up. And he wails at a slider, 0-1. So Pence has not looked good so far. And Colon trying to take advantage of that. Blanco at third, Hannock at second, and Duffy now at first. An infield hit, an end of the bat hit, and an infield error. Little that has been Colon's fault. So the Mets pitching staff's shutout inning streak in dire jeopardy here. They've gone 21 straight innings without allowing a run. But the base is loaded with nobody out. The Giants are where the Mets were last week. 7 straight losses. Oh, 2 to Pence. And he stopped the swing. 1-2.
That being said, we thought it was admirable that he didn't go down and rehab and play a few games. Pence looks a little off. But like you said, he can look off, and next thing you know, hit it.
He never looks like the quintessential player. Everything he does is a little awkward. 1-2. Gets jammed, rolls one out to Murphy, goes to second, gets the force, and that's all as a run comes in. Blanco's in to score, and the Giants have a 1-0 lead. So Pence on the 5-4 force play picks up the RBI.
Well, the first time that Pence puts it in play, gets himself an RBI, and Murph can only get the out at second. Nice job by Flores not throwing that baseball, eating it and just taking the out.
So a run is in, first and third and 1 out, and now Brandon Crawford to hit one as far as you can hit it in any ballpark in the major leagues without hitting a home run. His first time up. Granderson caught it right in front of the 421 mark in right center.
Let's go, Crawford!
And he lifts this one to left. This might get a run in. Mayberry to the line, tagging his Paddock. He comes down the line and he'll score the second run, throw down to second, and now they've got Pence in a rundown, and Duda slaps the tag on him to end the inning. So it's a double play, but the run scored in plenty of time on the sacrifice fly by Crawford, and the Giants played a pair in the second and lead in the third and lead 2-0.
Well, nice hitting by Crawford to get this ball deep enough to Mayberry. Mayberry throws to the cutoff man and hits the cutoff man. That's important because Murph is able to get to it and get it to Flores, who gets it to Duda and the out. Pence really didn't have to go there, but his first base coach was saying tag up, and he did. I don't know if it just cost him a base runner. He panicked, is making the call on his own. He's got to score easily on that play.
1-1 to Wilmer Flores leading off the fourth.
Watch Pence when he goes back to first, or just even listen. First base coach is telling him to tag up. No reason to.
So it goes as a double play, 7-5-4-3. Sacrifice fly for Crawford brings in the second run of the inning. One earned, one unearned against Colon in that third. So the Mets find themselves behind 2-0. Flores struck out his first time up.
Might be just some rust for Mr. Pence, right? And running the bases. Situational running. Kids, if you're doing that in the future, you can tag up, but just go a third of the way. Once you see the throw is going to hit the cutoff man, you just amble back.
Or if you take a couple of hard steps, maybe Murphy makes that throw to second. Maybe you draw a bad throw. Maybe you advance that way.
Murph did a nice job of coming to meet the ball, too, because that would have one-hopped him if he did not.
One and two to Flores. He pokes one foul. Duda and Mayberry to follow for the Mets here in the fourth.
Gary, it's Tuesday night. It's Stump Gary night. So your question tonight: on this date in 1964, which player hit a walk-off home run in the All-Star game at Shea Stadium?
Really?
Come on.
Really?
Is that below you, beneath you, beneath your intelligence?
I think that I truly believe as Flores hits one out to right center and Pagan ambles over. One out. I truly believe that 85% of our viewing audience could answer that question.
Really?
Yes. Let's just put it this way. 85% of our viewing audience over 40 could answer that question. Do you know the answer to the question?
I do.
So there you go.
You're lumping me in with the 85%?
I'm just saying. Well, you weren't alive in 1964. You weren't watching baseball.
I wasn't
then,
watching baseball.
So
you're right.
It's Lucas Duda. And he takes ball one.
Ask Webby. He did that All-Star game, didn't he?
Duda took a call third strike his first time up. The answer is Johnny Callison.
64 walk-off, and he got it. Callison was a Philly? Philadelphia Phillies.
The only All-Star game played at Shea Stadium in its first year of existence. A lot happened that first year. Jim Bunning threw a perfect game in only the 31st game ever played at Shea Stadium. You had the All-Star game that summer. You had the World's Fair opening across the street.
How about the Mets highlights? What were the Mets highlights?
Well, come on. Jack Fisher lost 24 games that year. Does that count as a highlight?
It's a light. I don't know if it's high or low.
Dennis D'Agostino reminds us they had the 23-inning game against the Giants 3 weeks before Bunning's perfect game.
What's the most you've done? 20 innings so far?
Duffy, the only man on the left side of the infield, throws out Duda, 2 out. Yeah, I think you're right. I think 20's been our limit here. Sunday on Jets Nation, Janae Coakley heads to Arizona to see how Darrelle Revis is getting ready for the upcoming season. Plus, Sheldon Richardson's 4-game suspension and how it will affect the team. On an all-new Jets Nation, Sunday at 7, only on SNY. Here's John Mayberry with a comeback for his first time up. Well, Matt Cain did not have an easy time of it in his first start back from a flexor tendon strain. He has been pitching much better tonight. And now Stake to the lead, looking for a shutdown inning.
lot of sharp break on the pitches by Kane. Dare I say, very hittable tonight. But you know, it's a different Matt Cain we're seeing than the one we saw 5, 6, 7 years ago, when he was unhittable on some nights.
One, two, and Mayberry lays off the slider. 2-2. Of course, Matt Cain and the Mets are most closely tied to one ugly pitch that he threw that nailed David right in the helmet. That's what, 6 years ago now? Mayberry strikes out. 6 strikeouts in the first 4 innings for Matt Cain. And he's got a 1-2-3 inning and a 2-0 lead. Home 4th inning. Giants with a 2-0 lead. Brandon Belt leads off against Bartolo Colon. Belt singled the other way his first time up. And he pops this one up foul. That'll come back and out of play. Belt, Pagan, and Suzak 6, 7, and 8 in the Giants batting order.
That's a pretty good 6th hitter, isn't it, in your lineup? I know that they're struggling to hit right now, but
Giants just happy to have a healthy Brandon Belt this year. They missed him for most of the season last year. He drives this one to right, but Granderson comes in to get it. 1 out. Well, speaking of Belt and his presence, he was there for the postseason last year. 18th inning against Tanner Roark.
And just a bomb. Stood to admire it, and the Giants had lots of those feelings in the postseason last year.
That was the game that Matt Williams took out Jordan Zimmerman. 2 out in the 9th. 1-0 lead. He walked Joe Panik, and he took Zimmerman out of the game.
This is the start after Zimmerman had thrown a no-hitter on the last day of the regular season.
Pagan lifts one to shallow right center. Easy for Neuenhuis, and there are 2 out. Well, with big plays like that, Giants, who I think you'd have to say going into each one of those postseasons were not favored to be the World Series champions, and yet won it all 3.
They got hot at the right moment, or they had the hottest player at the right moment.
And they have created quite a mini dynasty here, by the way.
And with the 2 wild cards making it now, Gary, you can't reiterate what you just said. It is a grueling stretch to get through to the World Series and win it.
Well, you have to potentially play 20 games in the postseason. Think about that. We went from a schedule where there were two league champions who played in the World Series, maximum 7 games, to the 2 division format where you had a best of 5 LCS and a World Series, maximum 12 games, to the 3 division with the wild card, where now you have 19, and now they've added the wild card game, 20. Suzak lines out to Murphy. 6-pitch inning for Bartolo Colon. We head to the 5th by the Bay. 2-0 Giants. Stay on site at Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort. Just go to sny.tv/Toyota and enter the Toyota Fan Flyaway Sweepstakes for your chance to win. Matt Cain working with a 2-0 lead as we go to the 5th. Mets have had just 1 hit, a double by Kevin Plawecki in the 3rd. Kirk Neuenhuis will lead off with Plawecki and Colon to follow. Neuenhuis struck out his first time up, his 2nd game back with the Mets after his rather convoluted sojourn from Met to Angel to 51 back to being a Met.
He could be our trip around the majors.
Oh yeah. Neuenhuis getting the start in center field tonight with Juan Lagares getting the night off. Cain quickly ahead of him, 0-2. Big day for the Cubs. They sweep a doubleheader from the Cardinals. Jake Arrieta won the first game, and Addison Russell a big hit in the 7th in the 2nd game. They went 5-3. So the Cubs all of a sudden gaining some ground on those not quite invincible Cardinals. Right now, as we head toward the All-Star break, the Cubs are sitting in the 2nd wild card spot right behind the Pirates.
I think Kevin Seagrist, left-handed reliever for the Cardinals, had a double play ball that he threw into center field. Gave the Cubbies new life late in that game.
2-2 to Neuenhuis. Braves won tonight 4-3 in Milwaukee. The Braves are revamping their pitching staff on the fly.
I mean, they brought kids up that were 9-year minor leaguers, career minor leaguers. Now they're putting guys that were starters into the bullpen.
That's pulled down the line, foul. Well, they called it Manny Banuelos as the ball dude makes the grab down the line. They don't have ball boys here. They don't have ball girls. They have ball dudes. There's Todd Early, tonight's first base ball dude. Eighth pitch of the at bat, and the curveball fouled off. So the Braves call it Manny Banuelos. They got him from the Yankees. He started tonight, got the win. Now they got Banuelos for David Carpenter. He went to the Yankees. The Yankees let him go, and now he's back with the Braves and pitched in relief tonight. And they've moved Mike Foltynewicz, one of their best prospect starters, into the bullpen. So they're attacking a weakness and making it a strength. Kane handles the comeback and retires Neuenhuis one away. They also got Arodys Vizcaíno back tonight. He had been out, like Henry Mejia, with the 80-game PED suspension. So it's a very different Braves pitching staff than the one that has struggled, especially in the bullpen, a good portion of the season.
Well, you know what's interesting is we saw John Hart this winter make as many moves as anyone in baseball. He wanted to restructure that whole entire farm system and still be competitive. Well, he's done both.
It's Plawecki, who has the Mets' only hit tonight, a long double in the third. So as a consequence, the Braves, they won tonight. They're only they're right at 500 now, and only a game behind the Mets in the standings. And in fact, with Washington losing tonight, the Braves are only 4 games behind the Nats. The Mets with a win could be 2.5 back.
Scherzer got roughed up, right?
He got knocked out in the 5th inning. First time that had happened in almost a year.
And Johnny Cueto, who struck out 11. Complete game, 122 pitches.
Raise the price.
Seems like the Reds are going to use all that gas in that rent-a-car before they bring it back.
Well, it certainly appears with the Reds scuffling around near the bottom of the division that they're going to trade Cueto. Curveball bounced to short as he hopped to Crawford to handle, and he gets Plawecki for the second out. Those NL East standings we were talking about. Braves now just 4 games back with their win, and the Nats lost tonight, and the Mets can be 2.5 with a win.
7-3 in their last 10.
Here's Colon with 2 out. Bartolo lined out to right field his first time up.
Colon's got that little pad around his thumb that some hitters, a lot of pitchers will wear, so if you get jammed, you don't hurt your thumb. That right thumb, you can see it, pad right up against the bat. We used to kiddingly call that, if anyone used that, the hiya pad. What does that mean? Well, when you get jammed, your first sound is hiya.
Bailing. Well, it should be the anti-hiya pad.
That's exactly what it should be. Oh, Bartolo Colon. When's the last time a curveball was thrown to him? It's no Steven Matz.
No, he hit the ball hard the first time against Kane. It's another curveball and bounces it foul.
Against the Dodgers and Mike Bolsinger, Terry Collins was saying that Steven Matz at one stretch had faced 13 pitches, 11 of them were curveballs. Unheard of.
Well, except Bolsinger threw a curveball almost every pitch that game. Kane strikes out Colon, his 7th strikeout in 5 innings. Greco Blanco making some friends and making one fan very happy. Halfway through, 2-0 Giants. I'm on the mound against Jake Peavy. Our coverage begins at 3 o'clock tomorrow right here on SNY. Well, the Mets made a move today. They activated Henry Mejia off the restricted list. He had been on suspension for 80 games for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and that was not surprising. What was interesting today is that to make room for Mejia, the Mets sent Logan Verrett down to AAA Las Vegas, and I don't know that you can pitch much better than Verrett did while he was here.
You know, I was shocked, really shocked that Verrett went down. Of course, his last appearance was on Sunday when he went 3 innings for a save. Boy, I think it's the wrong message to send when a guy comes up from the minor leagues and just pitches the way he does and does everything you ask him to do and more, and it still means a demotion down to Las Vegas. The other issue I have, Gary, is that you are keeping Alex Torres. Gil Martin's going to be here because of the Rule 5. But, you know, Alex doesn't get left-handers out. He gets right-handers out. And the great thing about Verrett, he's a crossover pitcher. He can go multiple innings. He can also get lefties out equally as he can get righties out. And I know that, you know, in today's game, it's very, very important to, you know, hurdle all your masses together and make sure you can keep as many people as you can. The problem for me is always performance. Who are the best guys going forward in your last 5 games to give you a chance to win as many games as you can? And Verrett, to me, does that.
Kane strikes out to start the home 5th inning. Well, just so people understand, the reason why Verrett got sent down and Alex Torres is still here is plainly because Verrett has options and Torres doesn't. And in order to send Torres to the minor leagues, you'd have to expose him to waivers, and you could lose him. Much the way the Mets kept Kirk Neuenhuis around early this year, and they eventually lost him. They ended up trading him for cash to the Angels, but basically the same as losing him on a waiver claim. Blanco hits one deep to center, but Neuenhuis should have the range to get it, and does for the second out. So they risked losing Alex Torres to another team if they had tried to send him to the minor leagues. My argument against sending Verrett down and keeping Torres is this is a position where you've gotten very fortunate this year. You've gotten performances from a lot of unexpected sources, guys like Hansel Robles and lately Verrett and earlier Eric Goodell, in addition to the guys you expected like Familia and you know, lately Parnell since he's come back from the Tommy John surgery, etc. You've got depth coming back at that position. Goodell should be ready within the next week or two. Jerry Blevins is on the horizon sometime, maybe next month. Mejia is back now. So it's not as though you're working from a position of weakness at the relief pitcher spot. You've got depth there. And I agree with you. Right now, this team needs every asset in the major leagues that will help them win, not necessarily assets that might help them potentially somewhere down the road.
You know, you show me a guy who doesn't have any options, I'll show you a guy that keeps getting sent down because he's not good enough to stay in the major leagues. That's how you run out of options. So it's just ironic that the guy who gets optioned out because he has options is the guy who's pitched the best.
I think there's another piece to that too. You know, the Mets traded a prospect in Corey Mazzoni to get Alex Torres. That's blooped over shortstop, and Panic's got another hit. So Joe Panic with his second hit of the night, a 2-out single. And I think sometimes with front offices, if you give up an asset to get a player, you're then reluctant to give up on that player or to give up that player because you traded something of value.
Listen, you know, when I played, I used to question moves made, and I totally understand why organizations do it. I'm just saying from an ex-player who used to be in uniform and would see moves like that made, and you'd have to scratch your head, say, do we have the best guys here to get it done? You hope you always can answer yes.
Diving attempt by Neuenhuis, but he can't make the catch. Panic goes to third, and Duffy aboard at first with a base hit.
Well, almost came up with that play. Gets a little sideways here as he tries to get his glove on it. It would have been a fantastic catch. Very fortunate, to tell you the truth, that this ball doesn't get by him. Kind of smothers it to his side and gets it in quickly. to keep Duffy from second base and to keep Panik from scoring.
We are so spoiled watching Juan Lagares play every day. When that ball goes up, you just assume it's going to be caught because Lagares makes this play every time. But Nieuwenhuis, who's a good outfielder, but not quite of Lagares' caliber, just not quite able to make it. So first and third and 2 out. Now Hunter Pence. And he lines one. That goes through for a base hit, and that'll bring in a run. 3 straight 2-out hits for the Giants. Panik comes in to score. Pence in his return to the lineup has his second RBI, and the Giants have a 3-0 lead.
Who needs to work himself up the rehab ladder? 2 RBIs now for Pence.
He looked so bad early in the game, but we said it early. He can look bad and then do this.
And it was that slider that was usually down and away earlier in his first 2 at-bats that made it difficult. This one just up enough that he hits it off the end of the bat for an RBI hit.
So just when it looked like Colon was getting on a roll, it retired 6 in a row, had 2 out and nobody on, and an 0-2 count to Panik. Panik dumps a base in to the left. Duffy hits one just beyond Nieuwenhuis's reach, and Pence singles in the run. Now it's Crawford, and he takes a strike. Brandon Crawford drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the third after hitting one 420 feet that was caught his first time up out in right center. Colon has been pinged to death in this game. Some infield hits, an error made behind him, his inability to cover first base. Off the plate to Crawford, 1-1.
Made an error of his own. The 4th and 5th innings, the second and third time around, have been the toughest for Colon. ERA in those innings over 7 in the 4th, over 6 in the 5th.
He's got a big out to get here to try and keep the Mets in this game. Crawford hammers one down the line, foul. There's your Verizon 5th inning recap. Matt Cain, in just his second start of the season, has been terrific. He's allowed just 1 hit and struck out 7. And the Giants able to scratch out 3 runs, 2 of them driven in by the returning Hunter Pence. Duffy at second, Pence at first, and 2 out. Colon ahead on Crawford, 1-2. Just missed inside, 2-2.
That fastball that Colon used so effectively in the beginning part of the season to get to his 9 wins. The one he throws at the hip with the left-handed hitter and brings it back over the middle of the plate or the inside corner of the plate, non-existent in the last 5 or 6 starts.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Crawford. And he pops one up. Backpedaling is Flores. Nieuwenhuis coming on, but it's Flores all the way to make the catch. And the side retired. But the Giants bunch 3 2-out hits to score a run. 3-0 San Francisco after 5. outside the manual scoreboard in right field. Who knew? Nobody invited us.
That's laying in the weeds. I like that.
Third time around the batting order for Matt Cain, who's been very successful tonight in his second start back from the disabled list. Curtis Granderson has flied out and walked tonight. Mets have had just one hit over the first 5 innings. Granderson, Tejada, and Murphy. As you look at the People's United Bank starters numbers tonight, Cain has been able. Colon has been unfortunate. I was going to say perforated, but it just wouldn't have been right.
That's right.
1-2 to Granderson. Well, he was perfect for one night. Granderson lifts one to center. Pretty well hit. Pagan back to the warning track near the wall, and it's off the fence. Bouncing away from Pagan, so Granderson's going to try for 3, and he'll make it safely with a stand-up triple. First triple of the year for Curtis Granderson.
What a start here for the Mets. And they need a few of these. Over the head of Pagan. It bounces through him and backed up by Blanco. And Curtis, of course, has enough speed. Once that ball, it's so deep here. Once it gets past Pagan, he just turned on the jets with a little stumble, but it didn't matter.
The 83rd triple of Curtis Granderson's career, his first this season. He once had 23 triples in a season with the Tigers back in 2007. 23 triples.
That's when the fences were back, right?
Back at when Comerica first opened. Here's Ruben Tejada, infield back with a 3-run lead. And Tejada flies one along the line, a long run back, belt and Pence reaching in foul territory, makes the catch. Granderson trying to score, and he is out! Hunter Pence, the spiritual leader of the Giants, returning from the disabled list tonight, and he has done everything.
With a sliding catch, has the wherewithal to get up, spinorama, and a strike. No bounce into Suzak.
And we'll see if the Mets challenge this. Did Granderson's foot get in before the tag?
Doesn't look like any challenge here by the Mets. If you were going to try, and his foot's in the air, if you're going to try to steal that run, you've got to be safe when you're down 3. Have to be safe. What a game changer that is.
So Pence with a perfect throw to gun down Granderson for the 9-2 double play. 2 out and nobody on for Murphy. Well, from Granderson's perspective, you can imagine he feels once Pence leaves his feet, he's got a pretty good chance, but no dice.
He made one of the best athletic plays we've seen in some time. Guy who's been hurt.
Rehab? What's rehab?
To me, it just shows you. And you see the tag again. Watch the front foot. Never gets to the plate and ends in the air as the tag is applied. You know, you can fool around and you can put some people and you can do platoons, but it just really shows you a good major league player when he comes back just makes the whole difference in the world for a ball club.
Well, it's been that way with the Giants and Pence ever since he got here in 2012.
Just plays with so much spirit and verve. Look at this reaction.
He's generally pumping his own players up, but he was pretty pumped himself.
We just love players who love playing the game, don't you?
Cain and Suzak having trouble getting together. Now the 2-2. And Murphy scalds one to short. Crawford on the backhand. Side retired. That's got a leadoff triple, but Hunter Pence took care of that. Mets fans giving Pence a standing ovation as he comes off. 3-0 San Francisco. Brandon Belt leads off the home 6th inning against Bartolo Colon. Giants with a 3-0 lead. Belt is 1 for 2 tonight. This place was buzzing that entire inning break after that play by Pence. Good off-speed pitch by Colon, 1-1.
Now watching Granderson tag up on this, he does everything right. He goes back. He doesn't half-step it. He's looking for the break. He gets it. He decides to go. He just got ball played here. That's all. You know, the problem with that play is you have to be safe. I understand why he went, but you still have to be safe when you're down 3.
Well, not just that, but there's nobody out.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's one out, maybe you're a little more aggressive. If you're down 1 run, maybe you're a little more aggressive. But Pence just made a great play. 2-1 to Belt with Pagan on deck. And he fouls one off Plawecki, who took that hard.
Oh, right between the eyes. You see him sag like, oh. Umpire Doug Eddings giving him the time he needs to kind of regroup. Job by Doug.
Two and 2 to Belt, leading off the home 6th. And he goes down on strikes. 92 miles an hour from Colon for his 5th strikeout. 1 out and nobody on. Let's check in with the studio. Game break with Doug Williams, brought to you by Honda. So the Nats have dropped the first 2 games of that series, continuing to leave the door open in the National League East just when it looked like maybe they were going to go on that stretch to blow everybody away. Well, George Contos is standing around down in the Giants bullpen. Matt Cain has thrown 6 innings and 95 pitches, so he may be done in his 2nd start back.
Do you think it's harder to blow up your team, the Reds, if the All-Star game is at your ballpark?
Well, you mean after the All-Star game?
Before the All-Star game.
Well, I think they'll wait till after.
Okay.
I mean, we're only a week away.
But deals come and deals go. You never know. You know, Cueto throws a gem tonight. Maybe someone says, you know, Cueto's our man. This is what we're going to give you.
You strike while the iron is hot. I don't know. It's interesting from Walt Jockey's standpoint. I would think they would prefer to wait if they have that choice. But I don't think there's any question that Cueto's going to be traded. The question is he going to be the only guy who goes out the door there? Duda handles the ground ball, and Magan barely running. He's had the bad knee, and he just took a few strides to first base and shut it down. So 2 out and nobody on. Meanwhile, very interesting story in Los Angeles tonight. The Phillies are playing the Dodgers. Last night, the former Philly Jimmy Rollins had the big hit to lift the Dodgers over the Phillies. Tonight, the former Dodger Chad Billingsley pitching for the Phils, and he's got a shutout in the 6th inning, and the Phillies are up 6-0.
Boy, he had some good games in the Dodger uniform.
And he had was it 2 Tommy John surgeries or just 1?
I thought he had 1, but he had a different kind of surgery before, early in his career. Might have been 2.
There's Andrew Suzak, who's 0 for 2, and he grounds one toward the hole past to diving Murphy. And Suzak has a 2-out hit.
Murph to his left, can't get to it with the dive.
So Matt Cain will be done for the night. They're going to send up Joaquin Arias to bat for him. Arias, who got the start at second base last night, went 2 for 3. The briefly former Met. Remember, he was the player the Mets acquired from Texas when they dealt Jeff Francoeur back in 2010. And Arias takes the slider for a strike.
Arias is the guy the Mets traded for, who hadn't played in 2 weeks. Came to the Mets, was an infielder. His first start was in the outfield for the Mets.
Well, they had a need.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Talking about Cain now out of the game. Arias batting for Cain. He made the play on the final out of the perfect game as the third baseman.
Staggered a bit.
He did.
But he did make the play. The more memorable play in that game was made by the guy on deck. Gregor Blanco, back in that triples alley in right center, made a phenomenal catch to help save Cain's perfect effort.
Cain's got to feel great after his effort tonight.
6 scoreless innings after a rugged first start. That's a little flare into shallow center, and that's going to fall for a hit. Suzak stops at second, so Arias with a pop fly single. And another 2-out rally by the Giants.
Well, the Giants are not using any part of the bat except the label here against Cologne.
Well, they have 9 hits, and you can't say that more than 1 or 2 have been well struck. But they put together 3 straight 2-out hits to form a run in the 5th, and now they have 2 straight 2-out hits to set the table here in the 6th. And the Mets are going to get their bullpen cranked up.
Brandon Beltz hit the left field. Might be the best ball struck all night.
Carlos Torres, Alex Torres up in the Mets bullpen. Blanco's 2 for 3 today, 2 infield hits.
So something unusual today. I watched Alex Torres throw a bullpen, albeit not a lot of pitches, but a reliever throwing a bullpen is not unusual, but you don't see it a lot.
Maybe if they hadn't pitched in a couple of weeks, but Alex pitched on Saturday. And maybe he just needs something to sharpen him up since his control has been so spotty.
I don't know whether it's more work, less work. Only Alex knows that. Alex and Dan Wortham.
Suzak at second, Arias at first, and 2 out. Colone's pitch count still reasonable, and the weather is cool, as always. It does get hot here, right? But more like in September, October, during 49ers season.
Well, they have the brilliant, they call it Indian summer here, which is in late October, early November. Football, it's great. But if you go 15 miles, you go under the Caldecott Tunnel, you can go from 66 to 96, the microclimbs that are around here.
Are we still allowed to say Indian summer?
That's why I held back, but I blurted it out. I apologize.
Toward the hole, and Blanco's got a base hit. Suzak will be held at third as that ball got to Mayberry quickly. So again, 3 straight 2-out hits, just as was the case in the last inning. This time, no run as of yet. And Joe Panik will come up with the bases full.
Well, Blanco this time hits it sharply. Too sharp for Suzak to score.
Dan Worthen's going to go out and talk to Colon before he goes after Panik. So that is 10 hits now for the Giants against Colon. They have all been singles.
Yeah, this is where the pitching coach tries to sell you a bill of goods. What he'll come out and say, listen, Bart, you're being nickel and dimed. Don't worry about it. You got 2 outs here. Get this guy right here, and we'll come back and score you some runs. As a pitcher, you don't believe any of it. But you know you have to get this guy out to have any chance.
You don't believe even a little bit of it?
Not a lot of it. You know one thing is certain, that if you're going to have a chance in this game, you've got to get Panik out.
Panik 2 for 3. He's hit 2 balls to left field for base hits and has scored 2 runs. Giants with a chance to blow this game up right here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Panik lifts one to left. Mayberry a long run to get to the line, but he reels it in to retire the side. So Colon allows 3 2-out hits, but no runs in the 6th, and it's still a 3-0 game. Contos on to pitch for the Giants.
Well, he's pitched 41 innings, which is 41 1/3, which is a large amount for a reliever. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 18 innings pitched, or 19 innings pitched. Has Bard on the bench.
Well, Colon outpitched tonight by Matt Cain. Quite a return to form for Cain. 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a chance for his first victory of the season. Mets will try and rally against the Giants bullpen. They did that successfully last night, getting to Sergio Romo and Santiago Casilla in the 9th inning. Flores 0 for 2 tonight, has struck out and flied out. Duda and Mayberry to follow in the 7th. Let's see, with Contos in the game, that would be my cue to talk about the Greek debt crisis, which is what Vin Scully did during the Mets-Dodgers game on Sunday. But I'm not up to it.
The Greek crisis or austerity?
Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Vinny, during the 9th inning of that 8-0 game on Sunday, I guess figured it was time to go off topic.
Love it.
And he did it brilliantly,
Like
which only he could do.
Yeah, like everything he does.
Right. 1-2 to Flores.
Conto's good hard fastball. His best pitch is that slider. You'll see a lot of those.
Duda on deck. Conto started out with the Yankees. Came over in a trade for catcher Chris Stewart a few years ago. And Flores pops one up. Belt into foul ground. One away. Now it's Duda, who has struck out looking and grounded out to third tonight, 0 for 2. Duda dropped to number 5 in the order tonight. And I guess it's pretty clear that if the Mets can't get Duda and Kadyer going, it's going to be hard for their offense to sustain any success as this season progresses.
Well, you have Granderson as the only legit power threat. I shouldn't say they are power threats, but they're not delivering. Granderson is.
Travis d'Arnaud still has a brace on his elbow. Doesn't look like he's getting back anytime soon. And David Wright is on the distant horizon. Down the left field line, a long run for Blanco, and it lands foul. "14 games, no home runs from anybody other than Curtis Granderson. And none from anybody the last 8 games. Mets are 0 for July in the long ball. Curtis did have a triple his last time up.
You know, that's one of the things you forget about when you come here to the West Coast, is you play in real pitcher-friendly ballparks. Dodger Stadium here, and now, after the game tomorrow, back home to Citi Field.
By the way, the Mets have now gone 370 plate appearances since their last home run.
Well, see that pitch right there? That's a classic example. 1-2 count. Contos challenges him. Where's this pitch? That is middle. It's exactly where he wants the baseball, but he's missing it. You know, and that's the rub. That's what makes it harder to take. You get your pitch and you miss it. It's hard to get it twice in the same at bat.
What makes the game so infuriating at times.
It does. You know, Bartolo Colon will look at this game and go, well, what should I have changed? Well, maybe not anything, you know.
One-two coming. And the slider at his feet. 2-2 to Duda with John Mayberry on deck. Yeah, Colon looks like maybe he's shut it down for the night. Can't tell with him.
Yeah, you can't tell with him, but standing up in between innings, usually you don't see that from a starter.
88 pitches through 6 innings for Colon, and the Mets bullpen remains busy. Carlos Torres is up. 2-2 coming to Lucas, and he taps one. Third baseman Duffy, the only man on the left side again, and there are 2 out. So 2 up and 2 cast aside by Contos in the 7th. And now John Mayberry, who's at a comebacker and struck out tonight, 0 for 2.
If you get to the break, you look at this ball club, Gary, say to yourself, you know, the starting pitching has been the starting pitching. Almost exactly how you wanted it. The relievers, I think, have overperformed, considering how many new faces have been out there, the guys that have been injured and not been able to come back.
Mayberry drives one deep toward the left field corner. Blanco racing, can't get it. Mayberry heads for second, and he'll jog in with a 2-out double. Nice effort by Blanco. Came up a little shy, and Mayberry has his 6th double of the year.
I think Blanco thought he had it at some point. See how he lets up a little there to prepare for the dive? And once he dove, he wasn't there in time.
Well, the Mets have 3 hits tonight. They've all been extra base hits. They were not able to cash the first 2. A double by Plawecki in the 3rd, a triple by Granderson in the 6th. And now Neuenhuis will come up after Mayberry's double here in the 7th.
So saying the starting pitching, relief pitching solid. The lineup is what it is. You can look at it as injuries, whatever. But you have to get something in the second half from the bench. And maybe that's a good sign there for Mayberry Jr.
Neuenhuis 0 for 2 tonight after a successful return last night. And he goes after that slider, 0-1. th outing of the year for George Contos. He's on a pace to be in almost 80 games. No swing by Neuenhuis, 1-1. Mayberry at second and 2 out. Plawecki would be next. And Neuenhuis takes a big rip. 1-2.
Another slider. You're just going to get a steady diet of them.
Looks like he has a little slider and then a bigger slider.
He's got the one that he gets over for a strike, and then that one he tries to put you away with. It's usually in the dirt.
One, 2. And Neuenhuis fouls it away. Foul ball.
Suzak out to talk to his pitcher. Sometimes they'll change the sequence of signs. Sometimes they'll just want to know what's he want to throw here. If you're going to throw a slider, bounce it. You're ahead in the count.
Contos, with runners in scoring position this year, has held the opposition to an .044 batting average. 2 for 45 with runners in scoring position.
Absurd number.
That's off the charts. Neuenhuis trying to change that. Keeps the at bat alive as he fouls off a fastball. 2 for 45.
Living right, Gary.
pitching pretty well, too.
Yes. Well, he's had an increased workload. Some injuries last season, but 3 seasons ago, 44 games. 2 seasons ago, 52 games. And like you said, on a pace for 75 to 80 this year.
7th pitch of the at bat coming to Neuenhuis. And Kirk gets under one. Panic waiting for it. Side retired. 2 for 46. 7th inning stretch time. 3-0 Giants. Out after 6 innings through 88 pitches, gave up 10 hits, most of them of the soft variety, all singles. Down in the game 3-0. Carlos Torres will take over in the 7th.
Well, Torres he's got some rest working. He hasn't pitched a lot in the last week. Chicago on the July 2nd, Dodgers on July 4th, inning and a third, gave up a run on 2 hits.
Duffy leads off, takes a strike. Duffy 1 for 3. Line one in front of a diving Neuenhuis for a base hit in the 5th. Hunter Pence on deck, and then Brandon Crawford for the Giants in the 7th. And Torres' curveball sits high 1-1. Well, Colon had his best start of the season last time out, and he didn't pitch much differently today. So things started poorly from his very first batter. A ground ball to the right side. Duda went for it. Colon tried to cover, missed the bag at first base, and it seemed like that set the tenor of his night. 2-2 to Duffy.
But maybe in that 3rd inning, when the Giants scored 2 runs, 1 unearned, on the ground ball to Murphy off the bat of Duffy, and he looked at second, and by the time he went to first, he lost the play.
Strike 3 called. Duffy out on strikes. 1 down in the home 7th. Well, we've talked about this ad nauseum over the last month or so. Yeah. The Mets have done so little offensively that every defensive mistake is magnified.
And a base running mistake, everything around the field is magnified. It's hard to play. You know, you're going to make mistakes. That happens. But you don't want to make mistakes that are silly mistakes.
Here's Hunter Pence, who has had quite a return to the Giants lineup after sitting out with tendonitis in his wrist. He's driven in 2 of their 3 runs, made a brilliant defensive play to make a sliding catch and throw out Curtis Granderson at the plate. And the bundle of energy takes a hack at a cutter. 0-2.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton. There you see Crawford on deck. Pence with the kind of covering on his left arm, none on his right. See that from the basketball players, right? Kobe, LeBron James, and others. And those pants above the kneecap, like you're a wide receiver. He's got his own style. He's a free spirit. People here love free spirits. And he is a fan favorite. Comes to the game on his motorized skateboard.
Did somebody steal his scooter a couple of years ago? Too high in a full count. Well, Pence, it must have killed him to have only played 18 games before tonight. Played 162 each of the last 2 years. Started out with the Astros. The fans there could not believe when he was traded away. Goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Torres to start the home 7.
Both of these on fastballs. This one's supposed to be away. It just ends up and in.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Brandon Crawford drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in third. Strickland is up in the Giants bullpen.
Torres throwing a little harder tonight too.
Gets the curveball over for a strike, and he's ahead on Crawford, 1-2. One of the things the Mets lost when they sent Logan Verrett back to the minors was an innings guy. Guy who could give you 2 or 3 innings at a time. Now Carlos Torres goes back to being that guy who can give you 2 or 3 innings at a time.
The fact that had lost his position of getting some innings. That's why I mentioned that he's gotten so much rest, because of the Verrett's 3 innings on Sunday.
And he strikes out the side in the home 7th inning. So Carlos Torres with a terrific inning. Mets look for some offense as we go to the 8th. Don't miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. Beautiful look from above. The traffic's moving awfully fast on the bridge. Look at those lights. Hunter Strickland will pitch the 8th inning for the Giants.
Well, it's nice to see him with a bounce back in this regular season in 18 games. Remember, it was Strickland in the postseason, Gary. He pitched in 8 games, 8 1/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, which is not great. 9 hits in 8 1/3 innings, unless 6 of those 9 hits were home runs.
Well, you know, Strickland's career has not exactly been a straight line. Originally drafted by the Red Sox, went to the Pirates in the Adam LaRoche trade, and then the Giants got him on waivers 2 years ago from the Pirates. But he's got a big arm. And he blows one by Plawecki, 0-2.
Got the name more of a Southern fiction writer, huh? Hunter Strickland. Throws that ball right by Plawecki.
From Thomaston, Georgia. Right where a Southern writer should be from.
That's right. 97 miles an hour for Strickland.
Juan Lagares is out on deck to pinch hit for Torres, and Henry Mejia is up in the Mets bullpen. Looks like he'll get his season debut under his belt tonight alongside Alex Torres.
Still has the short hair.
Well, Henry is thrilled to be back. He utterly refused to talk about the suspension and whether he was indeed complicit or whether he took the windstraw by accident.
I think a lot of the writers wanted him to show some contrition too, and he's like, listen, I'm not talking about it. I'm back. I'm going to try to help the team. What's the difference? You know, I mean, the thing that I found interesting, because you and I talked about it, is that so many players were found using, in the same time period, using old steroids.
Right. Irvin Santana, who just came back, Aridis Vizcaíno, who just came back for the Braves tonight, all got caught with the same stuff right around the same time.
It's almost like they developed a new test.
Or they were able to blow past a masking agent.
There you go.
Something like that. 2-2 now to Plawecki. Well, what I find interesting is that when Mejia's suspension was first announced, Mets were in Atlanta early in the season, there was a lot of anger in that Mets clubhouse at Mejia, who after all was the incumbent closer. This was before Familia had established himself as a near all-star for the Mets. And this is a team that early on in the season was just getting started and was off to a good start and expecting to win. And there was anger. And the anger not only came from the players, it came from the general manager, who questioned whether Mejia would ever have a place on this team again. Now, it's almost as though everybody's kind of in trying to shove it all into the past, kind of denying that was ever the feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need him here. He can help us win. Let's forget all about that.
I have a good memory, so don't try that. But you know, in different sports, it's treated differently. Baseball, there's initial real anger.
Plawecki grounds one over the bag. That's a fair ball going down the line. Over the bullpen mound and into the glove of Blanco. Plawecki into second base with his second double of the night. That was a great turn at bat for Plawecki against Strickland. A leadoff double.
Well, he saw every pitch you could see. Finally gets this fastball inside and turns on it. Duffy, who was off the line and who has great range, just missed getting to the baseball.
So the Mets have a runner in scoring position with nobody out, just their fourth hit of the game. All four have been for extra bases. 2 doubles for Plawecki, A double for Mayberry and a triple for Granderson. Now Juan Lagares will pinch hit for Carlos Torres. Lagares had a big hit in the Mets' 3-run ninth inning yesterday. Just getting the night off tonight. His bat has come alive the last few days. 4 hits in his last 11 at bats. Granderson waiting on deck. And the slider in for a strike from Strickland. Lagares has had 1 pinch hit at bat this year, and he had a base hit.
Much like the Mets did on Saturday afternoon to get back into that ball game, and of course last night in the 9th, trying to make their mark against the opponent's bullpen.
This might be Strickland's last batter. They've got Josh Osich, the rookie left-hander, up in the bullpen with Granderson on deck. Osich was up often last night, but was not used. 1-1 to Lagares. And he goes after a fastball out of the strike zone, 1-2. It's a big at bat. If Lagares can get on, then you get Granderson to the plate as the tying run. And right now, Granderson is the main power thread in the Mets lineup. Showed you the graphic earlier. He's the only Met who's homered in the last 14 games. One-two coming, and Lagares fights it off. 98 from Strickland.
Got a good pitch to hit there, though. Well, this is what happens in baseball. The starters work pretty quickly. Once the relievers come in, they take a lot of time in between pitches, rubbing up that baseball, trying to get themselves right, thinking about the pitch.
He'll never get that number up to Pedro Baez territory. You got Baez at 50 seconds.
Well, it's over 30 now, and he hasn't thrown a pitch.
And beat the clock. 1-2 to Lagares. A little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Strickland's been able to get ahead of the hitters here in the 8th inning. Couldn't put Plawecki away, and Lagares hanging tough as well. Was that just a 1-pitch experiment? Not going to run the clock again?
That was just anger from within the truck.
Well, you know, they're experimenting with the 20-second clock in the minor leagues this year.
Yes, that's a good thing.
2-2 to Lagares. And Juan goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Well, this is the best slider we've seen from Strickland. Tight on the corner, more of a cutter than a slider.
So 1 out, and now Granderson, who hit a long triple off the fence in center field his last time up, his first triple of the season. He's also walked tonight, 1 for 2.
It's 2 nights in a row that Bochy's been reluctant to go to his rookie lefty.
He's had him up. A little surprised he's not in to face Granderson, who struggled against lefties this year. Takes a slider for a strike. Blows it by him 0-2. Granderson comes into the night hitting 121 against lefties. But Strickland's got the advantage now. Ruben Tejada on deck. Curtis foul tips it, held by Suzak, strike 3. So after the leadoff double, back-to-back strikeouts for Strickland.
Well, I think there's a couple of managers left, maybe Socha with the Angels and Bochy here with the Giants, who have enough tenure and enough gravitas that they can play a hunch. And it looks like what he did there with Strickland, doesn't it? It felt like a hunch.
That worked for him. 3 pitches and Granderson's out. And now it's left to Ruben Tejada. Well, the Mets have had 4 extra base hits tonight. They've wasted the first 3. Trying to avoid wasting a leadoff double by Plawecki here in the 8th. Tejada's 0 for 2. Ruben hit the foul fly down the right field line in the 6th inning. Pence made the sliding catch and then threw out Granderson trying to score from third.
So many managers today kind of rotely go about managing the end of a ball game. What I mean by that is any chance they get the lefty-lefty matchup, they go with it. And that looked like a perfect place for Boch to go with it, and he didn't feel it. He felt Strickland more than the youngster. And I like to see that.
Well, he probably watched the Lagares at bat, saw him pitch effectively. If Lagares had gotten on, they probably would have brought in the lefty to face Granderson.
We got the clock on.
Oh, we're getting close to 50. Pedro Baez, look out. 2-0 to Tejada. Daniel Murphy on deck, and same thing here. If Tejada gets on, you have to think they go to the lefty for Murph. You know the music they play for Final Jeopardy?
Yeah.
It would run out. And now 3-0 to Tejada. So Strickland, after the back-to-back strikeouts, facing Tejada, misses badly with 3 in a row. If Tejada can get on, then Murphy comes to bat as the tying run.
And then maybe you see the lefty.
Maybe.
Now we're rubbing it in.
Tejada, you can be sure, will take a pitch. And it's a strike, 3-1.
Strickland take his glove off, put it underneath his elbow, rub up the ball, put his glove back on, arms raised, glove to the chin, a little spit, back look at the runner on second, a little creak of the arm.
That's almost as good as our Corey Dickerson play-by-play from last year when we were in Colorado. That's very good. Here's the 3-1, and it's fouled back. Good cut by Tejada, and a full count.
Well, for you Mets fans who are of the age, Randy Myers used to have 8 things he used to do in between pitches. Every single time.
Well, he'd stomp all the way around the mound after each pitch. That in and of itself.
With his bow-legged walk.
Yeah. Looked like he just got off a horse.
He's got the grip of a split finger. Has not thrown one yet.
Three and 2 to Tejada. And Ruben takes it high, ball 4, and the Mets will get the tying run to bat. And here comes Bochy, not happy at all with Strickland, who gives up the 2-out walk to Tejada, forcing Boch to make the long walk to the mound, and he'll bring in the rookie left-hander Josh Osich to face Murphy with 2 men on. Mets down 3-0 in the 8th. Pitching change called to the bullpen, brought to you by Verizon.
Star Josh Osich.
Yeah, 26-year-old rookie left-hander from Boise, Idaho, Oregon State. Prior to be contract purchase from AAA Sacramento. Appeared in AA Richmond and Sacramento before being called up by the Giants.
Daniel Murphy, the batter, tying run at the plate in a 3-0 game. Murphy's 0 for 3 tonight, hitting just .216 against lefties this year.
I don't think he threw a strike during his warm-ups. I wonder if that'll factor in for Murphy.
Plawecki at second, Tejada at first and 2 out. 3-0 Giants, 8th inning. And Murphy hits the first pitch on the ground to Crawford, and he gets the force play to end the inning. So Osich comes in, throws one pitch, and gets a big out. Still 3-0 Giants in the 8th. Don't play with fireworks, kids. Big parade and NBA news as well. On Geico Sports Night tonight after the postgame, right here on SNY. Alex Torres will pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Sorry, Gary. Alex Torres has given up runs in his last 2 outings, looking for a scoreless one here.
His splits are backwards. The lefties are hitting over 100 points higher against him than the righties. He's brought in to face the left-hand batter. On the other hand, Brandon Belt's hitting 125 against lefties. So something has to give. Torres starts him off with a strike. Belt is 1 for 3 tonight. Belt, Pagan, and Suzak for the Giants. Santiago Casilla is up in the bullpen and getting ready for a save opportunity for San Francisco. Angel Pagan, a switch hitter who hits much better from the right side on deck. Henry Mejia was up and is still in the neighborhood of the mound in the bullpen, but not throwing. There he is.
I thought your scenario would work. You were saying in between innings, not this inning, a couple innings ago, that you thought maybe Carlos Torres throws an inning. Mejia gets his feet wet in the major leagues with an inning here, but they went to Alex instead.
Two and two to Brandon Belt. Full count. .27 and a third innings, 20 walks. .21. So the Giants have a leadoff base runner in the bottom of the 8th. And now Angel Pagan, who's hitting .365 as a right-hand batter, .226 as a left-hand batter, will be allowed to bat right-handed. 0 for 3 tonight, reached on an error, flied out and grounded out.
Alex now, this is his 34th inning, so he's faced 34 first batters faced. He's only retired 17 of those. 50% just isn't happening. That number should be 75 or higher.
Well, it was late in spring training when the Mets looked like they were not going to have a viable left-hander on their staff after Josh Edgin had to have Tommy John surgery. Torres gets the ground ball. Flores and Tejada able to turn the double play. 4-6-3, 2 out and nobody on.
True to form, walk to the lefty and retires the righty Pagan on a double play. Nicely turned.
I was going to say it was late in spring training. Sandy Alderson made 2 deals in 1 day. He got Alex Torres from the Padres for Corey Mazzoni, and he got Jerry Blevins from the Nationals for Matt Dendecker. Blevins got off to an unbelievable start and then suffered the broken arm on a line drive. For Torres, though, it's been a lot more problematic. Here's Suzak, who's 1 for 3, and a base hit his last time up. In the 9th, the Mets will have Flores, Duda, and Mayberry, 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order coming up against Santiago Casilla. Ball and a strike to Suzak. Justin Maxwell is out on deck. He'll pinch hit if Suzak keeps the inning going. Well, do the Mets have more 9th inning magic in them? Twice on this road trip already, they've put together 9th inning rallies.
And they're catching a closer who did not pitch particularly well last night and really got 4 days off from blowing saves in Miami, or blowing a save in Miami.
I would assume that Bochy is happy to have a three-run save opportunity for Casilla, and that at the first sign of trouble, he'll have a safety net up behind him. He can't afford to let this game get away.
So is Casilla happy he's got a 3-run cushion.
Giants are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. And Suzak down on strikes, so Alex Torres finishes an ultimately successful inning and sends us off to the 9th. Casilla on to try and get the save. 3-0 Giants. All right, gentlemen. Wilmer Flores leads off the ninth against Santiago Casilla, and he takes a pitch out of the strike zone for ball 1.
Well, his last 2 outings, though, he's only gotten an out and given up 4 runs on 5 hits. His ERA career against the Mets is over 10.
Last night gave up a 2-run double to Johnny Manel and a run-scoring hit to Juan Lagares. Flores takes a strike. Duda and Mayberry to follow for the Mets in the ninth. Mets scored 3 times in the ninth inning yesterday. They'll need at least that many tonight. They've had just 4 hits tonight. All 4 have been for extra bases, but unable to convert any of the 4.
Flores
taken all the way. Was he looking to step out?
I don't know if he was trying to call time.
Here's your Mets box score. Plawecki with 2 doubles. Mayberry a double. Granderson a triple. But none of that has turned into pay dirt. Flores 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out, flied out, fouled out. And he hits one right off the thumbs. Can you hit it any closer to your hands?
This ball runs in on him late. Casilla has great. Boy, it looks like it's going to hit the end of the bat, the butt of the bat. Choking up now is Flores.
Well, he's been hitting balls to right field lately, particularly behind in the count. See if he tries to do that here. Belt playing well off the line on the right side. And he takes high and in. He's thinking about getting his hands out of the way that time.
Well, he dives. Flores is a hitter who dives. See the defense here. See Brennan Belt, the first baseman, trying to plug that hole you were talking about to the right side.
Well, the Mets need base runners. Casilla knows that as well as anybody. He's struggling right now. There's nobody up behind him in the Giants bullpen. Casilla, when he's right, generally doesn't walk many, but he has trouble with that this year. And Flores fouls one back this way. And a nice grab by a fan right in front of us. There's that empty Giants bullpen. I believe there are high fives and a round of beers going around in the rows right in front of us. Always good to bring your glove.
Who pays? The fans around him or the guy who caught the ball?
That's a good question.
Right?
3-2. Inside, ball 4, and Flores is on to start the ninth inning. Not the beginning that Casilla wanted. So the Mets need one more base runner to get the tying run to the plate. Lucas Duda coming up. Duda 0 for 3 tonight. 9 for his last 69. And he just has to find his way aboard somehow. And they're going to get Sergio Romo quickly to work in the Giants bullpen. Now, if you're the Giants, how do you play your defense here? This is one of those classic cases where if you play the full shift against Lucas, he should try to bunt his way on.
That's right, and just get the tying run to the plate. The issue you have here for Casilla is that he does not throw the ball in, so any fastball is going to be away to Duda.
And so they do not play the full shift against him. Crawford on the left side of the bag, and Duffy pretty much stays home at third. Meanwhile, Casilla having trouble throwing strikes.
Can eliminate half of the plate on Casilla's fastball if you're Duda.
Lucas is 1 for 4 in his career against Casilla. John Mayberry on deck, and Duda flies one out to left center. Playable for Pagan or Blanco, and they come together, and Blanco makes the grab. Pagan just bailing out at the last moment, avoiding a potential collision, and that's the first out.
Well, that ball kept drifting on Blanco. That's why Pagan came in at the last minute. I mean, that ball ended up closer to center field than it was to left.
So 1 out and 1 on. And now Mayberry, who drilled a double into the left field corner his last time up. 1 for 3 on the night. Kirk Neuenhuis on deck. And Mayberry takes a strike. Bell, for some reason, is holding against Flores at first. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, no reason to do that. Just play right behind him.
I mean, Mayberry is pretty much a pull hitter, but at the same time, you leave a big hole on that right side. High strike for Casilla, and it's 0-2.
Didn't have to be. Good catch there by Suzak. Caught it low late. That's that hole. You see Belt, though, he's off the bag, so he's trying to jump into that hole.
0-2 to Mayberry. And he takes a slider in the dirt. 1-2. NYN AT on deck. He was right in the middle of the Mets' 9th inning rally last night. Milwaukee, who's had a pair of doubles tonight behind NYN AT. 1-2 coming. And the breaking ball hit back toward the middle, but Panic has it at the bag, throws to first, and the ball game is over. The Giants turn the double play behind Casilla, and the Mets are shut out for the 10th time this year as Matt Cain comes back to San Francisco and throws 6 scoreless innings, and the Mets fall to 3-2 on the road trip as the Giants win tonight 3-0.
Cain struggled in his first start, 5 runs given up in 5 innings, 6 shutout tonight, but Hunter Pence was the story with 2 RBIs, a base hit, and the finest defensive play you'll ever see, sliding to the line and throwing out Granderson at the plate.
Well, the Giants had lost 7 games in a row, but they get their inspirational leader back tonight, and they get themselves a win as the Mets fall to 3-2 on the trip, 1 game over 500 for the year. Giants win it tonight 3-0. We'll come back with more from San Francisco in just a moment.